Hey there, everybody. How's it going? I. What is going on? Okay, the lighting here is weird. Sorry, I'm moving my room around. Anywho, I sit here and I talk about. God, living in East Asia for a few years. I lived, obviously, South Korea, traveled around the place, saw all of this stuff. If you look them up, one of the first things that you'll see is about how these countries are dying, right? Their population is decreasing, and there's no future for them, blah, 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 blah. This is all some of the stupidest, dumbest arguments I've ever heard, and they're absolutely massively overblown. I'll explain why real quick. For starters, the country's not actually dying. Its birth rate is just below the number that you would need in order to maintain the current population. So, what you would need is a number of two, right? So, for every one man and one woman, you would need two births in order to maintain that current population. If it's over two on average, then that means you get more people. If it's less, then that means that overall you're going to see a decrease. Right now, for Korea and Japan, I believe it roughly hovers around 0.7%, which is definitely below the current rate, but it's not zero. You see, if it was zero, then the country would be dying out. So saying that these countries are absolutely over or there's no coming back or whatever is just not true. It just means that over time you're going to have less people, which, to be fair, does kind of, give you some issues. The biggest issue that comes to mind is healthcare, right? Because old people need healthcare at a higher rate than younger people do. That's just the way that life works. And if you don't have as many young people, then you're not going to have as much healthcare workers, infrastructure, even taxpayers in order to, help out with the elderly. Or what you will have, and what they're kind of seeing now, is that the young people that do work in it tend to get burned out a lot. They tend to have a lot of issues. And that just is what it is. But again, your country's not dying. It's just putting a strain on that healthcare system. So what are the solutions for this? Well, you can do actually what the US did, which is where we just import a bunch of immigrants, right? That's something that even I know Korea has actually trying to do, because you can bring over people, even if it's just temporarily and not for, permanent reasons or whatever, but you can bring over people that work in healthcare and can do this job, make wages, and then go home. Right? And then the other thing is, well, what if you don't want all those, immigrants, especially the ones from the US, right? Like, what if you don't want them to come over and do the job? Well, that's fine. And it's going to put a strain on your system. So you might just have to reorganize things. You might have to make taxes maybe a little bit higher to pay for stuff. You might have to, some old people might just die because you just don't have enough workers. But again, that's a very small minority. So I do believe that overall, your country might be going through some hard times, but you've also gone through crazy hard times before. I mean, this is so stupid to me. Just because you are going through a hard time doesn't mean that your whole society is out there dying. It just means that things are a little rough around the edges. So real quick to recap, anytime you see a video or one of these doomsday people saying that Japan is over, Korea's over, China's over, North Korea's over, that's a big one. Because of the birth rate, it's not. They're just going to have less people overall, and they might be going through some hard times, or they might just import some people and change the way that things work out, which is fine. I mean, that is the way that human history works, but don't let them tell you otherwise. Anyways, have a nice day. Bye.